Hello, everyone. Let's talk about project 4. Now we go back to the original document. Okay. Okay, project 4 has 2 questions. The first one is Gatson Manufacturing Company has estimated the following component of a new product, and they need the information you have is a fixed cost, material cost per unit, labor cost per unit, and a revenue per unit. So we got all this for information and put it in Excel spreadsheet. And then we construct a spreadsheet model and then construct a one-way data table. So with that production volume from 0 to 100,000 with an increment of 10,000. Okay, the question is asked, in which interval of product volume does break even? And that's the first question. Second question is what-if analysis. Goal seek to find exactly the break-even point. Okay, now we open an Excel spreadsheet. Okay, this is all the documents we have. Okay, so this is a Gatson Manufacturing Company. And the parameters we have, revenue per unit. Okay, I just use another number. This number is a little bit different from the one in your project 4. So I just pick up a random number. And the fixed cost is 45,000 US dollars. And the material cost per unit, 1.5. The labor cost is $2. So that's all the information given in that project 4. So we put all those information in the Excel spreadsheet. Okay, this column here. And we assume that we are going to build Excel spreadsheet model. Assume that production volume is 70,000. So that number, we just use one of the arbitrary number here. And your total revenue, make sure your total revenue is the volume times the revenue per unit. Okay, look at the formula here is B4. Okay, B4 times, B4 is here, times B11. Okay, B4 times B11. Okay, 11 is the quantity. Okay, revenue per unit times the production volume. You got a total revenue. Okay, this is the B4 times B11. And total fixed cost. Okay, now we go to the total fixed cost. Total fixed cost is the fixed cost. Is that equal to B6? Okay, so we can total fixed cost is equal to B6. And now we have the total material cost. Total material cost is going to be the material cost per unit times the production volume. Okay, this one. Okay, you look at, say, this B7 times B11. Material cost per unit times the production volume. Okay, that's your total material cost. And then you got a total labor cost. Total labor cost is the labor cost per unit times the production volume. That's your total labor cost. And that formula here is B8 B8 times B11. Okay. Now we wanted to calculate the total cost. The total cost is equal to the sum of all these three. Okay, is your total fixed cost, total material cost, and the total labor cost. Okay, you sum them up. All those three components, you sum them up. Look at the formula I'm doing is sum B15 until B17. All those three items added up. That's your total cost. Okay, that's your total cost. So what is your profit? Okay, your profit is your total revenue. Okay, let's say the total revenue here. The total revenue minus your total cost. Okay, so now we see that, okay, is your total revenue 350,000 minus your total cost 290,000. Okay, that will give you total profit. Okay, so what is the question asked about is, look at this one question ask you, and so you have a production from 0 to 100,000 with an increment of $10,000. You need to find the break-even point. So what that means, break-even? Break-even occurs when profit is 0. Okay, break-even occurs when profit is 0. Okay, now we're using our data table. So we create a production volume. Okay, the first one is 0. The second one is 0, the previous one, plus 10,000. That is the production volume. So every incremental is $10,000 until you have 100,000. So, okay, the second one we put formula is, the previous one is D5 plus $10,000. Okay, this is the second formula. We click on enter. Now we move your cursor to the right-hand side corner. When it becomes a solid cross, you drag all the way down until it has 100,000 production volume. Okay, so the first one is very important. We need to put this cell here because this cell is going to decide what the value is going to be after. Is here the production volume, because this is the profit, so we need to set this one. Okay, this is the profit. We set this one equal to the profit. Okay, this is the B20. Okay, one thing I need to mention that if you got the formula here not correct, you will not get a correct answer. Okay, so you have to use the formula in that column B, just as what I shown to you before. So you got that equal to B20. Okay, that's the perfect. And you look at those numbers, there is supposed to be nothing. Okay, this is a nothing. You just a production volume, and you put this formula equal to the 1. You have this perfect. Okay, that's exactly the same. But here, E4, you need to put just the formula. Do not just copy the numbers. Okay, so now what we do is that we select these two columns. We select column D4 until E15. So this column, and you go to data, and you click on what if analysis. Okay, when you do what if analysis, you can see there is one is called data table. So we select data table, right? It's going to pop up a dialog box. So they wanted to show the column input cells. The column input cells is the production volume. So you need to choose this one. Okay, make sure that is B11, which is from column B, exactly the number for your production volume. Okay, so the row input cell, because this is only one column data table, you don't have to do anything, leave it blank. Now you click on OK. So you can see that all the numbers are already filled up, right? So exactly, this is a data table. So we have this one is your data table. Okay, so you can see the production volume is 70,000 and the profit. Okay, this is the profit. The profit is 60,000, right? 60,000. So all those are correct. So you can use that in, put a dollar sign, and you can reduce the decimals, whatever. You can use in this too, and to fix that, or you add 2 decimals and put a dollar sign. When the number is negative, that means your profit is negative. That means your losses. Okay, so now we get to the data table. Okay, this is for question 1. Okay, some of the function we use is the most important thing to make sure the formula you put here for this column B has to be exactly correct. And the profit for the data table, like E4, you need to equal to B20. Okay, once you got here. Otherwise, the data table is not going to be correct. Okay, now we move to the second question. Okay, second question is talking about we have this data, right? We have our large data set. Okay, question 2 is talking about star systems. They have 50 workers, and all the workers' name, age, China, work experience, income, and the number of leaves taken in a month. They have all those employees' name and their demographic data. Okay, so we can see all this data. So we're gonna change some of the data. I'm showing that in my Excel spreadsheet. So I'm going to copy all the data here. So the number, all the data might be different from yours, but doesn't matter. So you just wanted to show you how to use the function to find what you need. Okay, so the first question is, okay, the administrative manager of the company wants to know the total number of employees who were on leave for 4 days and 5 days in this month. Okay, let's say the employee, we're using an example, and like 0 days or 1 days, we're using COUNTIF function. Okay, so now we do here. Okay, so this is the question 1 here. So we wanted to know the employee who has no leaves or only 1 leaves, right? Okay, how many employee has only 1 leave? You can see this one, Gabriel has 1, and some, Jaden, Emily has 1. We wanted to know the total number of how many employee has only 1 leaves. Okay, how are you gonna do that? Okay, so we're gonna put in a formula here. So this is the number of leaves. Okay, the first we need to define the number of leaves. Okay, this is the one. We wanted to fix it. Okay, the number of leaves. Okay, the number of employee we need here is to count if. Okay, count if. So count, so we do that equal to count if. count if the first criterion is select the range. So because the number of leaves taken in a month is going to be column F. So we're starting from column F all the way down. That's all the numbers you select. And comma. Okay, the criterion is number of leaves. You select is only number 1. So you wanted to see the total of the number of leaves is 1 for that month. So we close the parentheses. Okay, so count if we select all those areas and the number of leaves is 1. So count if we click on that. Okay, that is 11, right? And we count if in the range. Okay, we select the range from F2 all the way down here. And okay, comma, the number of leaf is 0. Okay, so we close the parentheses. It will catch you how many employees has or no leaves during that month. Okay, the 14 employees have no leaves, and 11 has only 1 leaf. Okay, that's the first question. Okay, first question is different than the one you have. They ask you for the number of employee is 4 or 5 days, right? So you can change that, okay, anyway. So you just get that, and you can change it to 3, it's going to calculate. You got a 5, it's going to calculate, right? It will give you the numbers. Okay. It doesn't matter. So what the number you put here, you can change anytime after that. Okay, now we're gonna do is that we use the question 2. Okay, question 2, now the manager wants to know the details of the employee for Ava, Julia, and Annalise who are working in the company. Display your use of VLOOKUP function to provide employees details. Okay, the function we're gonna use is called VLOOKUP. Okay, so now we go back to the, let's say we use different names. Okay, let's say John, we wanted to know the information about his age. So we use a VLOOKUP. How are we gonna do VLOOKUP? Okay, the VLOOKUP function is this. Okay, VLOOKUP has a function, here, VLOOKUP formula. And the first one, you can look at the H9 is the company, the criterion. For example, the person's name. Okay, you put the person's name. And then they're looking for the area. Okay, what is the area? The data area. So let's say A6 from until F15. So those are data information area. And then you choose a column 2. Okay, this is 2, that means column B. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1, that's a column A. 2 is we choose B, is column B. And column C is 3, 4 is D. And then you false. The false, that means exactly match that person's name. If you choose true, that means approximately match. Okay, so you have the function. If the value is set to false, that means we are looking for an exactly match. If the value is true, we are looking for an approximate match. Okay, so that's how you last the function is true or false. Now we look at for our data, go back to the question. Okay, we wanted to know John, how old is John, right? So we're gonna do is called the function is called VLOOKUP. So the VLOOKUP is equal to VLOOKUP. H2 is John, right? H2 is John. And we select the whole areas, all the data areas. Okay, why we put $sign? Is that when we across this same function, we don't want it to know, we don't want it to change the data set. Okay, column 2, that means column B. Okay, column B, that's age. And false, that exactly. Okay, we wanted to look for John, that exactly. The name is John. And from this area, okay, the data area. And then we have the the whole area exactly. That's what is the age, column B. Okay, so let's say we wanted to do another one. I just give you a sample. Let's say James. Okay, so we want to do James or equal to VLOOKUP, right? VLOOKUP. Okay, we look up, and the name is John. Is James, and the data table from here all the way down here, all those values. Okay, and column, because this is a column B, okay, that's a 2. And we're looking for exactly match. Okay, this is false. Okay, so we wanted to know James, how old is he, right? So we close the parentheses. Yes, we find James is 42, 44, and we're using, let's say we wanted to use Ava, right? Ava is 55, so doesn't matter you change that person's name, it's going to automatically change. And now we do the VLOOKUP. We look up for Ava and we look up, right? We look up the value, okay, is Ava, and the data range, okay, this is the range here. And we wanted to know the gender is column C, that means 3. And the exactly match, we choose a false. Okay. Now you can see, we click on enter. Oh, she's a female, right? If a female. Okay. Now we wanted to know her working experience. We're using VLOOKUP. Okay, Ava. And the data range. We select the whole range. And okay, working experience, column D. Okay, that means a 4. And we exactly match to the false. Okay, now we can see the work experience. Click on enter, 30 years. Okay, if that is, you can look for any person that you got, right? Let's say you want to look for Jaden, Jayden. Yeah, Jaden, all the information for Jaden appears. Okay, thanks for watching and have a good day. I hope you complete the project by the due date.